Before this episode of The Reckless Roller starts, I'd like to take a minute to shed a light on Black Lives Matter and the protests going on worldwide right now. I'd like to ask everyone to please go to blacklivesmatter.card.co. That's card with 2 R's. Over there are a lot of resources, tips for protesters, places that you can text or call to give your thoughts to government officials on this, places to donate, petitions to sign, and I ask that anyone who is capable of donating or doing any of that does that. This is a very, very important fight that needs as much support as it possibly can. I don't want to take any more of your time before the episode starts, so I hope you all enjoy the episode, and thank you for listening.
Previously on Pokemix. But this angry, scared, lonely, depressed, furious, completely enraged Dreadnought, this mix of emotions surfaced with it. Wannabe, you feel all of this. You feel its entire history. This rush of emotions may be a little too much for you to bear. Charles doesn't even notice. He's following you. He's heated. He wants his badge. At least at first. Then he looks up. He sees this creature and he says, "Dibs."
Michael just sighs and just, you are a piece of work, and he sends out his ace. Michael's ace Pokemon is a variant Magnezone, fairy water type.
You hear off in the distance, coming from the direction of Blackthorn, actually, the sound of a helicopter.
Dreadnought, I know what it's like to lose someone you care about. I was in a conflict and lost many people I consider friends, allies. If you need help with talking about this, I will be here for you.
This large green dragonfly has managed to encase. It's managed to encase so cool. This Dreadnought in basically caked mud. You hug the hell out of this Dreadnought, and you feel like little drops of water coming down onto your shoulder. From behind you guys, a helicopter lands, and a Meowth hops out. But it's not scared. We're gonna take this beastie over to a place where it belongs. For now, we can try and get it rehabilitated over at Mount Silver.
Great warrior, my name is Wannabe. It is a pleasure.
And the Dreadnought says, "We'll meet again."
I have to go home. There's something I have to do.
Alright, so welcome everyone to the Reckless Rollers. We're continuing our Pokemix campaign with a little solo episode since the story kind of led to one of our players doing what is considered inadvisable in tabletop campaigns and splitting the party. But I mean, you had reasons, so I ain't putting you at fault for that. Anyway, I'm Scott, the GM or keeper or pokekeeper, whatever you choose to call me for this. The guy that voices everything that's not a player character. That. And the solo episode is going to be co-hosted by... Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, it's me, Mars Rover the second, as Paxon.
All right, and so little peek behind the curtain. We're recording this a bit out of order, but it's all taking place within the same like time span, I guess. What happened during the previous episode was a fight with a giant fucking dreadnought that went not exactly the way I expected, but I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that almost made Paxton into a water type.
I didn't expect it to end super touchy-feely. Yeah, with Wannabe making a lifelong friend, and then it ended with revealing his new lifelong enemy.
Two sides of a coin.
Yeah. Something duality of man. Anyway, so we're gonna go on ahead and I guess we'll start this off with Paxon. You've made it back to Cyanwood City. I'm assuming you're heading straight home with all of your Pokemon following and / or riding on you.
Yep.
So
All alone.
So you walk up to your front door, you turn the knob, you open the door, and you see Carl sitting at the dining room table.
What, Carl?
Oh, hi, hello.
Hi there. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just taking my lunch break. Your mom offered to cook up some food, and I'm not gonna turn down any free meal.
Well, okay. Well, I hope you have a good one.
Right, and your mom, Petra, walks into view from the kitchen. I would think there's a little partition that kind of separates the living room from the kitchen. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, so she kind of walks into view, pokes her head in, and says, "Paxon, you're home. I didn't expect to see you back so soon."
Mom, I want to hug my mom.
All right, I'm not gonna have you roll for this time.
Inconsistency.
Oh, don't worry, because Skipper's gonna be going up for the hug too, and I'm gonna have you roll for him.
Okay. There we go. That is a 10.
All right, so the Petra doesn't really realize that she's being hugged by her son and a large frog. But aside from the stickiness, wetness, weirdness of it, she still seems genuinely happy. She looks at you and says, "You've already caught a Politoed? That's wait.
Mom, this isn't just any Polytoad. I hand over the letter to her.
She reads over the letter.
Yeah, the letter said something along the lines of like,
It was basically like a will.
yeah, if you're reading this, I'm probably already gone. Here's a Polytoad.
Yeah, that works. So she's reading over the letter, and some tears start to well up in her eyes. She says, "He's alive. It's gotta be.
You think so?
I never gave up hope. The writing on this, the paper, the ink, it doesn't look old. It looks like it was only written a couple weeks ago. Although, I don't know, maybe Pokeballs. I'm not going into the science of that. Then Carl pokes his head up and says, well, actually. And then Petra glares at him, and he just kind of slinks away.
Man, someone's in the middle of waterworks, and then that one person has to be like, well, it's actually like this.
But she smiles and says, I know you're on your journey, and I know you walked all your way back here, unless, did you take the ship? I heard it was down because of something wild that can't possibly have happened.
Yeah, Mom, there was a giant turtle that attacked.
Really?
Yeah, one of my friends, luckily a bunch of nice people were able to calm it down, but it was very scary.
I mean, it sounds scary, but you managed to get through it safe and sound, right?
Yeah.
So, see, you've already grown up. You're already stronger.
You think so?
I know so. Now, you're completely welcome to stay the night, but I know that you're in the middle of your journey, and I know that you must want to stay here and wait for Dad, but how about this? She takes your watch, taps the screen a few times, and a little program pops up. It says, this is a new app that Carl was telling me about. It's a hologram communication device.
Oh?
The second I hear any word about your father, I'll give you a call on this. And actually, would your mom have any Pokemon?
Uh, I actually didn't give that much thought.
Do you think she would have a flying Pokemon for, like, errands?
Maybe. Something either flying or water related.
Maybe.
a mantine.
All right,
No.
so here's new lore. Your mom was a professional Mantine surfer. No, this is canon now.
Oh shoot.
No,
My dad met my mom at the beach by the pier.
how about this? She taps on her belt and says, "If I find your father, if he comes home, I'll steel wing and I'll fly him right over to you. How's that sound?"
I'd like that. Paxon is a little emotional about the conversation, considering how long it's been since he's seen his dad.
Yeah, and I can't really voice someone who's crying all too well without actually crying myself, and I don't want to make that sound because it'll be horrid for podcasts. But she's been talking with tears brimming up in her eyes the entire time. And she looks at Skipper and says, I don't quite know if you're strong enough to actually handle Skipper just yet. You're welcome to leave him with me for now, if you'd like.
Okay.
Now, he's still going to be yours. I'll just be keeping an eye on him, making sure that he doesn't destroy the place. You know, I was a pretty accomplished trainer back in my day. And she pats 2 other Pokeballs that were on her belt.
Oh wow.
Then she takes a second to think and says, "You don't have a I didn't even think to pack that. I'll be right back." She runs off into her room and comes back with a little belt with like pockets in it.
Ooh.
Says, "I totally meant to give you this when you actually set out on your journey. It must have been I hope you weren't digging too much in your bag for Pokeballs." She hands you the belt, and you know this to be a Pokeball belt.
Oh wow.
Yes, you can put whatever Pokeballs that you have Pokemon in those little pouches, and that way you know which ones are which. And there's even a little pouch in the back for empties. Then she holds up 2 more and says, "Here, you give these to your friends when you see them." And as soon as that happens, the lights go out.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Alright.
oh dear. This has been happening a few times over the past day or so. Pretty much right after you left, the lights have been going off around here. Could you come with me? Maybe you'll be able to find out what's been going on. I haven't been able to see anything.
Paxon nods and follows along.
She takes you along to the back of the house, where there's kind of a sparking circuit breaker.
Oh.
Nearby, you see something skittering. It's small, metallic. Looks like a spider. It looks very similar to the spiders that you and your friends fought off just a little bit ago.
Whoa.
It's a little smaller.
Is something there?
The little spider stops. Very, very briefly turns to look at you and tries to move away a little faster.
Whoa.
I'm gonna have you roll perception.
Alright, perception. Paxon's perception is 3. That is an 8.
Ooh, with an 8, you can still kind of keep an eye on where this spider is going.
Okay.
However, it seems to be looking like it's going towards just a spot on the wall nearby the cliffside. The cliffside wall. That's what I meant to say. There we go. Words. And, do you follow it?
I will cautiously approach. Maybe I'll have a Pokemon beside me to like help out.
Alright. Which Pokemon would you have out with you?
You know what? Seeing something metal made me have a feeling that maybe I should bring Ollie with me.
Alright, so you bring Ollie out, and his nose starts to twitch. He starts following the trail where this small spider was going. And I assume you're following as well?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys very slowly, very cautiously follow this trail. The spider's moving even faster now. Like, you know how in cartoons when they're running it looks like they have those little wheels?
Oh, he's got little Sonic wheels.
Yeah, he's basically trying going like that, but it's also a very small spider, so it's not going really fast. It's just going faster than you guys. And it leads you into that cave where where you, Katri, and Wannabe were heading towards the ranch. And it goes through that small opening near the door that still hasn't been fixed. And I assume you're still following it.
Yeah.
Are you trying to stop it or do anything along the way?
Yeah, maybe I'll pull out my Pokedex and inspect it.
Alright, so you hit the little button on the side of your watch, and it shoots out a little unseeable wave, pings on the spider, reflects back, and the data comes to you saying, Joltik, error, abnormal type detected, steel, bug.
A steel bug?
And it turns around again, having sensed this little ping. And it's gonna try and shoot a little web of string at the two of you to get you guys stuck in place so it can escape quickly.
Oh my.
So I'm gonna have you roll athletics as well as for Ali.
Yeah, Paxon is not the most athletic.
Or acrobatics. Whichever one's higher.
They are both 2. They're average.
Fair.
That is a 9.
Alright, what about for Ali?
Right, let's see. Ollie, 2 athletics and 2 acrobatics as well. Oh, there's like... Oh, I didn't notice the sheet has a +2 on there. Like
Yeah.
2 + 2. Ah, poo. Ali got 4.
Alright, Ali gets stuck. You, however, do not.
Ah, shoot.
Now, you are within range to try and do something, if you so choose.
What would I do? You know what? I think I'm going to crouch down to the creature, and I'm going to pull my hand out, and
You're gonna try and charm it to you?
I'm gonna try and let it know that I'm not trying to hurt it.
Alright, so you're gonna roll your charm. Or your Pokemon knowledge, whichever one's higher.
What's my charm? Oh my gosh, my charm's a 1. My Pokemon education is a 2, though. Shazam. Oh no!
What'd you get?
Snake eyes.
Yikes.
That's double 1s.
Alright, so the Joltik does come up to you. In fact, it runs up to you. And it just takes a little bite out of your finger
Ow!
And it chitters a little bit. Jump, tick, 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 tick. As if it's saying, fuck you, fight me.
Ow!
And then it hops back and starts moving away.
Wow, what a rascal. Alright,
So, what do you do?
well, I tried being civil about it, but I still have to get this thing out of here. In some form or fashion. Let's see.
You can still have Ollie attack. It just can't move forward.
Attacks do Ollie have? Growl and tackle.
It should have Mud Slap too.
Oh, Mud Slap?
Yeah. I meant to add that onto its list of moves because it is level 10 now. So it should at least have Mud Slap, and probably instead of Smoke Screen it's got Sand Attack.
Ooh.
I'm
Alright,
saying this to remind myself later.
Ollie... I'm gonna have Ollie smack up some sand into the Joltik.
Alright, so in which way? Sand Attack or Mud Slap?
Sand.
Alright.
We won't hurt the thing, we'll just blind it.
Now let's see if that's something you have to actually put in a roll for. Let's see. There it is. Alright, so frequency, EOT. The target is blinded until the end of its next turn. And my dog's barking. Both dogs barking.
Bork.
Alright, so it does have an AC, which means that you're going to be, you're gonna roll a, D20.
Okay. Boop. Oh, come on!
What is it?
4. These rolls are going terrible.
That actually works. It's an AC of 2,
Oh my god.
and it's not a high level, Joltik. So its speed evasion is only gonna be 1 for right now. Mostly because I haven't made stats for it yet. So it is blinded, but it's going to use its turn to call for allies. So it lets out a metallic screech,
Oh
and
my.
descending from the top of the cave are more of these metal spiders.
Oh no.
But these ones are spinnerags, and one is much larger.
Oh no. I don't like the sound of this.
Now, I'm not going to have you roll initiative, but I am going to give you a chance to at least try and catch the Joltik if you'd like, or any of these spiders if you so choose.
And me out the gate Pokeball throw.
Yeah. So it'll be 1d100, and you're going to be trying to roll below the number I have in mind.
Alright, below the number. Low roll. Come on. Roll. 52.
You're kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me.
What was it? What happened?
No, I was literally mumbling under my breath 52.
Oh my god.
So that's actually going to be... I'm going to treat this as a critical cat.
Oh dang. That's
So,
crazy.
what were you aiming at?
I was aiming at the Joltik himself.
Alright, so you tossed this ball, and it hits the Joltik effortlessly. In midair, as that small gap between where the Joltik was and where the ground is, it automatically clicks. It doesn't even shake. Then the ball just rolls back to you.
Whoa. I've never had a Pokemon actually fight me before. This is a first.
And then the ball starts shaking as you pick it up.
Ah! I take the ball and start running.
Do you recall your Cyndaquil?
Yes, I will. Actually, I pick up the Cyndaquil out of the webbing and take
Alright.
him with me.
So you're running with the Cyndaquil in your arms and a ball that's still shaking in your hand.
Yeah, and there's still all those other spiders coming about.
Yeah, they chase you until they get to the mouth of the cave. They're not wanting to be seen by anything in the light. Mostly because Spinnerax are considered nocturnal, and so are Ariadoses.
Uh,
So, as soon as you get to the mouth of the cave, as soon as you get out, the ball stops shaking, and it opens very slightly, and
oh.
a little metal leg pops out, and then the rest of the Joltik pops out. Now, what's the name of that spider on YouTube? That little animated spider?
Oh, Lucas.
Yes.
Lucas the spider. I have a little plushie of him.
Imagine that, but a robot.
Oh my gosh.
Now that you have a closer look, it's got big ol' like those radar monitors on TV.
Yeah.
Its eyes look like those. They're green with those little crisscross white lines.
Oh,
It's got its 8 legs, but they're all metallic. Its body is also metallic, but it's got a couple little wires exposed. And it's got a tiny little pincer looking mandible right underneath its eyes.
oh my gosh.
And it's just looking at you a little angrily, like it feels it was cheated out of a fight. But it crawls up into your hood and it just stays there.
I'm sorry, little guy. But you were causing trouble, and we couldn't have that.
It's trying to make a little nest in your hair. So far, this Joltik is the only NPC that knows what your hair color is.
If I have hair.
Then it makes a nest in your hood. And as you're making your way home, I assume,
Yep.
you see Professor Hickory. He's stepping out of his lab, making his way to the same cave you were running out of. And he says, Paxon?
Professor,
What are you doing here?
I got in a little bit of trouble. I had to solve an issue.
Oh, well, it's interesting. You've only been gone for 3 days. But, I mean, you are young. Young people get in trouble. As long as you're safe, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So, have any tales so far?
Boy, do I.
And are you talking to him as he's walking back to the cave?
Yeah, we got a lot of explaining to do.
Alright. So you kind of go over the little bit of distance between where you guys kind of met up and where you escaped all of those metal spiders. And he says, that's all interesting. Give me 1 second. I've been working on a habitat for some of those Pokemon that you guys helped stop earlier. Uh, they might be a little riled up. I'm gonna go check up on them real quick. He walks into the cave. And you hear him laughing, and then you hear him saying ow, ow, and then he starts laughing again.
Are you okay in there?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. There appears to be one missing, though. It was a little Joltik.
Uh,
Interesting.
oh yeah, I made a new friend in there. Well, I don't know if he thinks of me as a friend, but I'm sure I'll warm up.
You feel a little bit of a pinprick on the top of your head.
Ow!
At the mention of you saying, I don't think he considers me a friend.
Oh.
Wait. Bork, bork, bork. Bork, woof. Bork, bork, bark, bark. Yep. So, Professor Hickory. Anyway, Professor Hickory holds out his hand to, he holds out his hand and says, can I see it?
Alright, I reach into my hood to try and lure it out.
The Joltik, lets itself into your hand without any issue. And I assume you pull your hand out of your hood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you pull your hand out from under your hood, and the Joltik is crawling around the top of your hand, trying to go into your sleeve. And Professor Hickory looks at it and says, I think you'll do well with this. He seems to have taken a liking to you. He's been a little aggressive since he's been kind of singled out by the others for not being, a Spinnerack
Oh,
or part of the evolutionary line. Been kind of an outcast.
poor thing.
So he might be a little scrappy. But the other ones, the ones in there, still a little riled up. I went ahead and dropped some food for them. Let's go back to the lab, get you guys all healed up. How's that sound?
Yeah.
So you head back to the lab. He patches up your finger, and you finish telling him about the run-in with Charles, the fishing tournament, and the dreadnought. He kind of laughs and says, I'd heard about that. That came up on the news. They're blaming the Omega Point Institute for the dreadnought being out here in the first place. But people were also saying that dreadnought was the island. The one that popped up mysteriously 10 years ago. That's before the Institute was created.
Oh.
It's odd. But I don't know what's going on. If you can, keep looking into things for me. Let me know if you find anything interesting. And tell Katri I want to take a look at that bear as soon as possible. That Teddy Ursa.
Will,
Sounds interesting. A little spooky, but interesting.
will do. Paxon tries to give a little salute with his hand.
And he looks at you for a second and says, "Did you catch anything else?"
Oh yeah, I gotta show him the ralts I have.
So you pop out Ileana. Do you still have Ollie out?
Yeah, Ollie's still hanging around.
She immediately starts riding on top of Ollie's back. And Professor Hickory looks over at Ileana and says, "Green Fin. Didn't expect that."
Yeah, there's been a lot of Pokemon that look different from what I remember them looking like.
Well, keep an eye out on it for me. If it starts to act any differently, let me know. All right?
Yeah, she definitely acts different from a lot of Pokemon.
This might be a case of a another abnormal type variant that might just pop up later, or who knows? It might actually be a sudden outburst of a regional variant that sprung up to adapt to all of these sudden changes. It's interesting. Very interesting.
You hear that, Ileana? You're special.
She stops. Well, she stops Ollie by levitating both of them in midair.
Whoa!
They both turn to you, and she gives a little salute. Says, "Routes, routes." And Hickory says, "Now, I have a couple other matters to attend to. If you want to follow me around for them, you're welcome to, but it's mostly just taking care of some of the Pokemon at the ranch. Nothing too strenuous."
Okay, I'll join along.
Alright, so the two of you head back through that cave. The Spinnerax and the Ariados have been pacified, so they let you pass unhindered. You head to the ranch, and you still see some scorch marks, some
Some
torn up fencing.
markings from dead Voltorbs that exploded.
Actually, in that case, I'm gonna have you roll a perception.
Alright. I gotta look up my perception.
I believe it was 3.
Yeah.
So 3d6.
There we go. 8.
8?
I have not gotten, very many
Higher
rolls
than it.
that have been good.
Yeah. Oh no, but that's fine. It wasn't that high of a DC. It was a DC of 5 to notice that there are 3 Pokeballs laying on the
The
ground.
standards of these rolls are just low enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty hard to miss, but you guys were a little distracted before.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice these Pokeballs look a little different from the ones you have. They're completely black.
Whoa.
There's no dividing line of a different color. The only thing that isn't black on it is it's a stylized R.
Oh no.
On it, but it's not the same R that you've heard about before from your parents for Rocket. This one looks like it's just been spray painted. It's a stylized blue R.
Where did that come from?
And I assume you point that out to Professor Hickory.
Yeah. Where did that come from, Professor?
He looks over at them and says, "I didn't notice those. Wow." He walks over, picks one up, pushes the button on it, and one of those fireball Voltorbs comes out. He recalls it real quick, says, I'm gonna hold on to these. Maybe I can find out who the owner is. Actually, let me see your watch real quick.
Okay.
So, you hold out your wrist, he taps on the button, the side button a couple times, and it scans the Pokeball. And, on the screen, it shows up with the data for the Pokemon. It says Voltorb, abnormal type fire, original trainer, and a bunch of question marks after that. He looks at the screen, says, yeah, I'm gonna hold on to these for a bit. I don't like this. He picks up the Pokeballs, puts them in his lab pocket, and he turns around and says, "Well, why don't you go home for now? Spend some time with your mom before you leave. If anything comes up, I'll let you know."
Okay.
So we'll skip ahead to when you actually get home. The lights are back on, and the small Joltik it's still just zooming around in your hoodie, back and forth between your arms. And your mom says, "You've been gone a while."
Sorry, I had some troubles.
She says, "Oh, that's fine. That's fine. The power came on pretty much right after you bolted off to chase after what I assume was causing all of this." And then she sees a small gray speck moving back and forth between your hands. Says, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I did find what happened, and then I will try to get the thing to come out of the sweater.
So you hold out your hand in a fist, and the spider runs up to the edge of the fist, stops, and makes a pose. It's trying to do the Lion King pose, but it doesn't have another thing in its hands.
Aw. I'll put... What if I put a little finger into its hands?
He bites it.
Ow!
She laughs a little bit at that and says, "It's really cute. It's it's interesting. Joltics are known for sucking up electricity, basically eating it as food." She chuckles silently, takes a battery from a drawer, and hands it to the Joltik. Says, "Here you go, little guy." And he goes back to doing that Lion King pose, holding the battery in his hands. And we'll end the episode with you waking up in the morning, getting ready to head out again.
Oh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
I would think that during the night, while Paxon is asleep, he would be tossing and turning at some points, and for a brief moment he opens his eyes to pull up that paper again, and he kind of has a sort of resolve in himself that he really wants to find his father, and he clutches the paper pretty tightly. He says, "I swear, Dad, I'll see you again someday."
And now we're going to skip ahead to you walking back down the main road, and you're heading back towards Olivine. Your mom's repacked your bag with more snacks that Issa's already. She's packed a few more changes of clothes. She's given you a brand new Mimikyu hoodie that I don't know if you're wearing yet.
Ooh.
And as you're passing by that same picnic area, you pass by it, and that ghost white giant Beedrill comes out, and it's
Uh-oh.
silently following you.
Oh no.
You can roll a perception if you want.
I will indeed roll a perception. Shazam. Alright. Finally, at least somewhat decent. It's a 12.
All right. So you don't hear anything at all, but you get the feeling that something's watching you. You turn around, and you don't see anything.
I always feel like something is watching me.
And we'll say from the camera's side view, uh, as soon as you turn around, the bee goes invisible.
Oh shoot.
And as soon as you turn back around, it becomes visible again. And it keeps going on like this until you get back to Olivine City, where it just disappears entirely in kind of like one of those heat hazes. It just starts to look like wavy air. And we'll say you're heading straight over to the gym as we end this.
Yeah.
And this right here is the end of our first arc.
Yeah. At least for my time period.
Well, I mean, this is going to be the last episode that plays for the arc.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. Like I said, we're recording this out of order.
Yeah, something made me think that might have been like the gym battle itself being the finale.
Oh,
That would,
your gym battle is going to be how we started off.
I meant like the other people's gym battle.
I figured I would have it be them doing their gym battles and then showing like what you were doing while they were taking care of that stuff.
Oh, okay. Sort of like
Just because we're starting it off again with the next arc beginning with you going straight into the gym and taking on Michael.
okay.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
All right. And as for the Joltik you caught, you're welcome to stat it up as if it's level. We'll say level 8.
Level 8. Okay.
The rest of your Pokemon, I believe, are level 10, except for Ileana, who is level 11. Did she eat that candy?
Yeah.
Yeah, she ate that candy, so she'd be level 11 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really want to have that BP of main antagonist, so it's gonna be fun.
Draw your feelings.
Well, guys, this is it. The arc finale. I want to thank you guys for sticking with me this long. Well, sticking with us. And I hope you guys are ready for what comes next.
So the next few episodes that are going to be coming out are going to be one-shots that we've worked on. Just on the side here and there. And I think you guys will enjoy them. I want to thank so many people. Like, for real. I want to thank the creators of Pokemon for, like, giving us all of this content to work with. I want to thank the people who made Pokemon Tabletop United. I want to thank Mars for some of this dope music that I've thrown in here. I'm going to post them in the show notes. Like the times that they appear in the episode. And I want to thank, again, Mars, Steph, and Argo for joining me in this. And of course, I want to thank you guys. Like, knowing that you guys are out there listening to this, it means so much. Don't even know. But for real, this arc has been a blast, and I'm excited for you to hear what's next. With that said, I'm gonna hop out of here. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy. And catch you in the next episode. I've already forgotten what it said, even though I... Did you just hear my nephew screech?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. I haven't really been noticing it while I was talking, but I'm trying to keep an ear out for it so I don't have it happen while I'm talking, because it's really hard to cut it otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Do you hear him talking in the background?
I did not.
He just kept going, a blah, like right outside my door, so